When your mind is telling you that you're done, that you're exhausted, that you cannot possibly go any further, you're actually 40% done. Never let people who choose the path of least resistance steer you away from your chosen path of most resistance. No one is going to come help you. No one's coming to save you. Life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self. The path to success will leave you calloused, bruised, and very tired. It will also leave you empowered. There is no better way to grow as a person than to do every day something you hate. Everybody comes to a point in their life when they want to quit, but it's what you do at that moment that determines who you are. I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. You can tolerate doubt as a backseat driver, but if you put doubt in the pilot's seat, defeat is guaranteed. We all have the ability to come from nothing to something. Suffering is the true test of life. You can tolerate doubt as a backseat driver, but if you put doubt in the pilot's seat, defeat is guaranteed. We all have the ability to come from nothing to something. Suffering is the true test. Nobody cares what you did yesterday. What have you done today to better yourself? Be more than motivated. Be more than driven. Become literally obsessed to the point where people think you're f***ing nuts. Don't focus on what you think you deserve. Take aim at what you are willing to earn. Comfort zones. If you live in one too long, that becomes your norm. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Tell yourself the truth, that you've wasted enough time and that you have other dreams that will take courage to realize, so you don't die a f***ing pussy. If you want to get better, do the things that no one else wants to do. Do the things that no one is even thinking about doing. I thought I'd solved a problem when really I was creating new ones by taking the path of least resistance. Everybody wants a quick fix. You may get results, but they won't be permanent. The permanent results come from you having to suffer. We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. Mental toughness is a lifestyle. Read a record number of books in a given month. If you're focused on intellectual growth, train yourself to study harder and longer than ever before. Everybody comes to a point in their life when they want to quit, but it's what you do at that moment that determines who you are. If you don't challenge yourself, you don't know yourself. I'm different than most people. When I cross the finish line of a big race, I see that people are ecstatic, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's as if my journey is everlasting and there is no finish line. It's possible to transcend anything that doesn't kill you. Failure is an option. It's what you do with the failure that makes you who you are. Our failures mold us. I have failed at several things in my life. What sets some of us apart is that when we fail, we can't sleep at night. It haunts us until we have our time at redemption. From the time you take your first breath, you become eligible to die. You also become eligible to find your greatness and become the one warrior. But it is up to you to equip yourself for the battle ahead. Greatness pulls mediocrity into the mud. Get out there and get after it. Very few people know how the bottom feels, but I do. It's like quicksand. It grabs you, sucks you under, and won't let go. When life is like that, it's easy to drift and continue to make the same comfortable choices that are killing you, over and over again. It's time to go to war with yourself. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. The only thing more contagious than a good attitude is a bad one. Denial is the ultimate comfort zone. People take classes on self-help, mental toughness, breathing control. The only way to get tougher is to put yourself in hellacious situations. You have to build calluses on your brain just like how you build calluses on your hands. Callous your mind through pain and suffering. If you're not physically and mentally prepared for what life is going to throw at you, then you're just going to crumble, and then you're no good to nobody. The more things you can do to get outside of that zone that makes you feel good, the stronger your mind is going to get. It starts getting used to doing things like this. It's not fun, but now my mind is used to it. Whenever you decided to follow a dream or set a goal, you are just as likely to come up with all the reasons why the likelihood of success is low. Blame it on the fused-up evolutionary wiring of the human mind, but you don't have to let your doubt into the cockpit. The mind is the most powerful thing in the world. The reason it's important to push hardest when you want to quit the most is because it helps you callous your mind. It's the same reason why you have to do your best work when you are the least motivated. Most of us, we live in a box, and we don't want to go out of that box at all, ever. Outside of that box is all these possibilities of life. But what we do is shackle our mind, and we are a prisoner in our own mind. In a human being, your character is your foundation. And when you build a bunch of successes and pile up even more failures on a f***ed-up foundation, the structure that is the self won't be sound. To develop an armored mind, a mindset so calloused and hard that it becomes bulletproof, you need to go to the source of all your fears and insecurities. Only when you identify and accept your weaknesses will you finally stop running from your past. Pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. Only you can master your mind, which is what it takes to live a bold life filled with accomplishments most people consider beyond their capability. Everything in life is a mind game. Whenever we get swept under by life's dramas, large and small, we are forgetting that no matter how bad the pain gets, no matter how harrowing the torture, all bad things end. Our culture has become hooked on the quick fix, the life hack, efficiency. Everyone is on the hunt for that simple action algorithm that nets maximum profit with the least amount of effort. There's no denying this attitude may get you some of the trappings of success, if you're lucky, but it will not lead to a calloused mind or self-mastery. It's so easy to be great these days because everyone else is so weak. You're probably living at about 40% of your true capability. The worst thing that can happen to a man is to become civilized. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. A warrior is a guy that goes, I'm here again today, I'll be here again tomorrow, and the next day. It's a person who puts no limit on what's possible. If you can get through doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. The only way that you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is by suffering. You have to suffer in order to grow. Some people get it, some people don't. We live in a world where a lot of people need goals, motivation, and a lot of other words to get started. It's just a big excuse to not get started. A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you ever go through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind. And we have to callous our minds to fight that war and to win that war. The only reason why I became successful was because I went towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me, in my own right, to become the person who I am today. It may be satisfactory, but that's another word for mediocrity. We are all great. No matter if you think you're dumb, fat, been bullied, we all have greatness. You gotta find the courage. It's going to be hard work, discipline, and the non-cognitive skills, hard work, dedication, sacrifice, that will set you apart. Before you start a goal, let's take care of our insecurities because they are going to surface when you put yourself in the crucible and you're suffering. A lot of people put motivational quotes up on the wall, and all they do is collect dust. Become what that quote says. Live it every day. A normal person would give up. They'd say, F it, it's just not meant to be, and themselves 1 minute more. I wasn't wired normally. It's show people, don't tell people. Most of us fail in life because we are afraid of what everyone around you is thinking. That's 100% truth. When you fall down, focus on the solution, not the problem. You might quit or fail 100 times. Keep that clear picture of where you want to be. Be true to whoever or whatever you are, and wear it like a bandage of honor. Fit in with one person and one person only, yourself. Motivation is crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed. Life is the most brutal endurance sport of all time. When you're exhausted, weak, and tired, and everyone around you looks just as bad as you or even worse, that's the perfect time for you to make a statement. You let everyone around you know that when their life ends, that's when yours begins. If you want to be one of the few to defy those trends in our ever-softening society, you will have to be willing to go to war with yourself and create a whole new identity, which requires an open mind. Most people who doubt you because they can never see themselves doing what you are trying to do. What put distance between me and almost everybody else in that platoon is that I didn't let my desire for comfort rule me. My work ethic is the single most important factor in all of my accomplishments. In every failure, a lot of good things will have happened, and we must acknowledge them. Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror. If you choose to do something, attack it. Don't focus on what you think you deserve. Take aim at what you are willing to earn. Your entitled mind is dead weight. Cut it loose. Most of us are motivated as hell to do anything to pursue our dreams until those around us remind us of the danger, the downside, our own limitations, and all the people before us that didn't make it. Sometimes the advice comes from a well-intentioned place. They really believe they are doing it for our own good, but if you let them, these same people will talk you out of your dreams, and your governor will help them do it. Life is one big mind game. The only person you are playing against is yourself. Starting at zero is a mindset that says, my refrigerator is never full, and it never will be. We can always become stronger and more agile, mentally and physically. We can always become more capable and more reliable. Since that's the case, we should never feel that our work is done. There is always more to do. We are all fighting the same battle. All of us are torn between comfort and performance, between settling for mediocrity or being willing to suffer in order to become our best self, all the damn time. We need to surround ourselves with people who will tell us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear, but at the same time, not make us feel we're up against the impossible. In life, there is no gift as overlooked or inevitable as failure. Luck is a capricious bitch. It won't always go your way, so you can't get trapped in this idea that just because you imagined a possibility for yourself that you somehow deserve it. Self-talk and visualization are the two keys to my success. In this life, we're either getting better or we're getting worse. We are all guilty of allowing so-called experts, or just people who have more experience in a given field than we do, to cap our potential. In this life, there are countless trails to self-realization, though most demand intense discipline, so very few take them. To exist in this world, we must contend with humiliation, broken dreams, sadness, and loss. That's just nature. Each specific life comes with its own personalized portion of pain. It's coming for you. You can't stop it, and you know it. We live a life defined by the limits we imagine and desire for ourselves because it's comfortable as hell in that box. We all need to start looking at obstacles very differently in life. Obstacles are purely hidden opportunities. You have to learn to be the person who really doesn't care if it is 70 and sunny or 20 and windy. You just don't care and continue moving forward. The obstacle is the opportunity if you are willing to see it that way. Stay hard. There is so much poison that people are feeding people's minds these days. People want to see you lesser than them. A lot of people want to see you on your back. Be careful who you listen to in this world. They may very well be the infection that keeps your brain sedentary. In life, when you miss the shot that can tie the game, before you put your head down, look at the scoreboard, because I bet you still have time in the game. And in this game of life, anything can happen at any given second that can turn the tide in that game. The Spartans were masters of pain. They knew how to embrace it and push through it. They didn't just endure pain, they welcomed it. That's what made them so powerful. Taking souls all day, every day,